cheerleaders, but who are actually real leaders in your respective universities and colleges. And of course, let me just open by thanking Ed and the Cunningham Center, the Blanchard leadership team, and Columbus State University for what you do. This university, this community would not be what it is without the tremendous contributions that you make. And so I want to certainly give accolades to you. Ed alluded to the fact that he's worked with our team, and of course that has made a tremendous difference in our ability to utilize the resources here for developing and working with our team with leadership. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about my background. And I'm really so excited and more focused on these young student council or student body presidents, SGA presidents, than I am on the business folks and the adults. I don't want to spite you, but this is a rare opportunity for me, and I just want to take advantage of it because it's sort of reminds me and takes me back a number of years. I've gotten to the point now where I'm looking back almost as much as I'm looking forward. I'm 67 years old. I was born and reared in Mobile, Alabama during the era of segregation. I finished high school in 1964, went to Morehouse College, and of course when I got to Morehouse College I had the opportunity to meet Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In my freshman year he was the recipient of the Nobel Prize, and of course that was the peak of the civil rights movement, and I began to follow it very closely. And there was no, I think, in my life at that point, no greater leader, no greater leadership skills and wisdom demonstrated than those that were demonstrated by Dr. King. So he was quite an influence on my life. But looking back, I recall as a high school student, our principal used to say to us almost every week in assembly, young people, what you are to be, you are now becoming. And every week he would say that to us, and it just sort of went past us. But now at my age, as I look back, I realize just how wise he was and how true those statements were. You see, and I'm putting this in on a personal level, in the context of leadership. My parents told me, and I was certainly oblivious to it, that as a child, they predicted that I would, at some point in my life, be involved in some aspects of leadership. Just watching me play with my playmates. They described me, and this was later in life when they said this to me, that when 3 or 4 of my playmates and I were together, that if I wanted to play one particular game and everybody else was playing something else, everybody would tend to gravitate toward what I was doing. And when I got bored with that particular activity and went to something else, they would follow what I was doing. Or I was totally oblivious to that. But by the 5th grade, when we had our class elections for somebody to be on the elementary student council, my classmates decided that I was the one because they felt that I was not awed so much by the principal and the teachers that I would communicate with them, that I would probably say things to them that they would not. And of course, as I matriculated through junior high school, involved in student council, high school student council, was elected to be the district student council president, and eventually in my senior year in high school, I was elected the state student council president. And in the state of Alabama back in 1963-64, of course, the schools were still segregated. And of course, that was the Alabama Student Association, and that was the Alabama State Student Association. One was for African Americans and one was for white students, and so that was a dual system there. But I did participate in that and was elected state president. I say that because in my capacity as state president, my high school year, and I see the city manager here, he knows Ms. Agnes Lowe. Ms. Lowe was the SGA president of, I'm the sponsor, counselor for, I guess, South Girard High School. And she was at the state convention in Montgomery as one of the adult sponsors. And State Senator Leroy Johnson, who was the first African American elected to the Georgia State Legislature since Reconstruction, following passage of the Voting Rights Act, was our keynote speaker. That was something of a real inspiration to me as a young student council president, as a state student council president, getting ready to go to college, trying to figure out what I was going to do. I was headed and wanted to be involved in law and politics, but here I met a real live elected official, never having done that before, and listened to him and related to him and was able to say that if he could come from the same kind of background that I did, if he could matriculate at Morehouse College, which I was planning to do, and then he could go into law school and he could become a lawyer, and eventually he became a state senator, that maybe one day I might be able to do that. Well, going back to my high school principle, what you are to be, you're now becoming. I did that. I went to Morehouse College. By twist of fate, I ended up being president of the SGA at Morehouse. It was a very, very pivotal time, a very crisis-filled time. The school year 1967-68. Dr. King was assassinated. He was one of the most prominent alumni of Morehouse. He was mentored by Dr. Mays, and of course, his funeral was held on the campus. I was a part of the Morehouse Glee Club. I got to sing at his funeral. But I also, prior to that, on that morning, actually marched in the mule train that carried his body from Ebenezer to the Morehouse campus, where thousands of people from all around the world came for his funeral. That gave me an opportunity to meet people like Robert Kennedy, Ted Kennedy, Harry Belafonte, many of the civil rights leaders who all came to pay tribute and to pay their respects to Dr. King. You might also have read in history, because I know many of you were not yet born, but it was a very volatile time. When Dr. King was assassinated, there were fire bombings, riots all over the country, and particularly in the Atlanta community around the campus, Morehouse. And so I was called upon as a student leader to try to keep our students grounded so that we would not destroy our campus, we would not destroy the area around, and we wouldn't get so out of control and so consumed with emotion that we would really lose our heads. It was a very, very difficult time. As student leaders, you will have some challenges on your campuses. This Leadership Institute in which you are participating will help you to gain some skills and to be able to focus on how you will deal with some of the challenges that you face. But I cannot say to you how fortunate you are to be here at the Cunningham Center and to participate in this leadership preparation. Trust me, you will be able to utilize all of these skills that you will pick up and that you are learning during this period, and you will be able to put them to work not only in the school year that comes up on your campuses, but you will be able to carry them with you throughout the rest of your lives in whatever endeavors you pursue. But you are learning now, and you are participating in the things that will help and strengthen you as you go forward in life. Dr. Gaines told us what you are to be, you are now becoming. And the campus politics that I had at Morehouse College was very much like the politics that I am involved in Washington, believe it or not. It's just on a microcosm on the campus, a macrocosm in the state legislature or in Washington. I don't know if Ed mentioned to you or not, but I served in the State House of Representatives for 14 years, the State Senate for 2 years before I went to Congress. And I can tell you that the experiences that I had on the college campus as an SGA president prepared me very much for the experiences that I encounter every day as a member of Congress and as I did as a member of the legislature. We did not have political parties on campus, but we had fraternities and clubs and organizations, and each of those was a group of individuals that sort of had certain things in common, and they were competitive. And so in order to win elections on campus, we had to develop strategies so that one or two of the fraternities could form a political coalition in the election against another fraternity that would have one of its members running for office. And of course, those kinds of strategy sessions, those kinds of coalition building opportunities really laid the groundwork and prepared me for what I have had to do. And so I want you to know that what you are doing now and what you will be doing as leaders on your campus, those are the experiences that will definitely prepare you for what is to come. I had kind of thought that we would be talking about some of the issues that are happening in Washington this morning, but I really think that it's important for me to just share with these young people just how important the experience that you are going through now in this budding leadership capacity, how important it is, and enjoy it and get everything out of it that you can, because this will be a part of, or foundation of what is to come that you will be able to draw on and carry you to great heights. Quite often people where I am look back and they say, what is this younger generation coming to? What is our future going to be? But I look at it with great excitement because I see such budding and exciting leaders growing and coming to fill the shoes that we fill. One of the most gratifying moments for me in my life was when, after having met State Senator Leroy Johnson as a high school senior, getting to the General Assembly. He had since retired, but getting the opportunity to meet and to greet him and to remind him that he had motivated and inspired me when I was in high school. And then when I served 14 years in the State House and was sworn into the State Senate, I called to make sure that he was invited and that he came, because I wanted him to share that moment with me, because it's the moment that I had dreamed of from the time that I was at senior in high school. I hope that you will have great aspirations. I hope that you will, and of course all of you will not go into politics and will not run for office once you finish school, but some of you will, and you'll be involved in your communities, and it's important that you do that, and that you carry the background of involvement that you have had on your respective campuses. One thing that I want to leave with you, and that's this. You are blessed with great opportunities and great skills. And as we go forward, as you go forward in your lives, I hope that you will try to use the skills, use the education, use all of the opportunities that you have to make the world better. I can remember as we were graduating from high school, it said, make the world more of hope, less of fear, better for our having traveled here. And we said that, and we set out on a future to do just that. Well, I hope that you won't just go into careers thinking about how much money you can earn, what titles you can hold, but how you can actually use what you do to improve people's lives. I chose, or my life has evolved to the point of public service. It is, as I view it, a ministry of public service. I have committed my life to trying to utilize the political process to improve the lives of the people that I serve and of humankind. Each of us has that opportunity regardless of what line of work we're in, what careers we choose. But wherever we are, whatever we do, I hope that you will use what I call the dash of your life, that is, that dash between the date of birth and the date of death, that you will use that dash of your lives to make a difference and to make the world better. I'll close with this poem. Dr. Mays used to use it all the time. It's called God's Minute. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds, and forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it. Use your minute in life, on campus, to make a difference and to make your community and your surroundings a better place because you were there. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Student Advisory Council, we would like to thank Congressman Bishop for his pearls of wisdom, as Dr. Jones would say, And we'd just like to present him with a small token of appreciation. Thank you.
And Congressman, let me join with thanking you as well on behalf of this group and our university for being here today.